Hey everybody, One of Wisdom here. It is 5:37 a.m. I am insanely tired. We've introduced quite a few characters. I think we started like part 27-ish. Legendary Lightcore Grim Creeper tonight. We've run through, we've done the Zulu, Legendary Zulu, we've done Jolly Bumble Blast, just did Bumble Blast, we've done Popthorn. When we did Standard Bumble Blast in part 31, he is of course included with Knockout Terrafin in the Fiery Forge Battle Pack. I actually put the Fiery Forge piece on. What it seems to do is kinda, obviously you get two arenas, PvP and then Knockout, but what the Fiery Forge does, one, it lights up. A lot of people are unaware of that. It's only the part at the bottom kind of radiates upwards. But what it'll do, it'll kind of hover overhead of the enemies and it dumps, fire from the cauldron, and it essentially does 50 damage there. So it kind of locked in on the dummies since they don't die, but I'm sure if like it was in story mode and we used it, say it defeated an enemy, it would probably follow us or go on to the next closest one, something like that. That said, I am going to pull Bumble Blast. He is a very cool seeming character. Looking forward to playing with him. Gonna actually grab Knockout Terrafin. Again, Terrafin I am a huge fan of. Personally, I really like his Series 2 pulls, but this one's kind of interesting. We're going to go ahead and put him on the Portal of Power. I will back out here and we will watch his animation.
It's feeding time!
Alright, so we got new and blue there.
Rank up.
And that, of course, got us a new Portal Master. So, Knockout Terrafin, he is at level 2. Reason for that, my nephew has had me play as him quite a bit in battle modes. That's probably where he picked everything up. Let me see, what was he at level 1? 310, I believe was what he was at level 1. So, here's what he looks like. Not super fast, not terribly slow, so that's kind of a good thing. What does he look like jumping, since he can jump now? That's what he looks like. Pretty impressive leaps there. So, go ahead and jump. See if we can pick up the coins. They're not there. Primary attack, we're going to go ahead. That's going to be Punch, I believe is what it's called. 36 and 54. You get the idea. The guy is an absolute beast, box stock. Secondary attack is the Earth Swim. That's what it looks like. Oh, actually, you can hit the shield. That's interesting. Don't do damage to enemies or anything, and that's when it timed out right there. So, pretty good duration on it. Basically, you can avoid things in this stage of the game. You press the A button, it pops back up. So, let's go ahead now. We will pause this. We're going to go to collection. Spyro's head. As you can see, I hadn't actually used them in story mode. That's why we've got the exclamation point there. Also, that one for the item and special pieces, that would be the Fiery Forge that we put on with Bumble Blast. But we'll come in here to the Earth element. As you can see, we've got Slobbertooth, we got Dark Slobbertooth, and then of course right here, Series 3 Knockout Terrafin. So, slogan, of course, it's feeding time. Terrafin originally came in SSA in an adventure pack available launch day alongside with Darklight Crypt. It was called Pirate Seas. For me personally, just always interested in Terrafin, and Series 2 repos was epic. He's very unique in the fact that he could burrow. You've had a few characters in Giants, kind of follow somewhat similar paths, still not quite along the lines of his. That said, he is back. I have no complaints about that. We're going to come in and read his bio. Alright, there he is, very, very menacing looking. Terrafin hails from the dirt seas where it was common to swim, bathe, and even snorkel beneath the ground. But a powerful explosion in the sky created a blast wave that turned the ocean of sand into a vast sheet of glass, putting an end to Terrafin's duty as the local lifeguard. Not one to stay idle, the brawny dirt shark found himself training in the art of boxing, and not long after he was local champ. Fighters came from all around to challenge him. but it was a chance meeting with a great portal master that led him to give up his title for a greater purpose. So, my nephew and I, we like to do the battles, where I'm Terrafin, he's Slam Bam. Those two kind of stack up very nicely. Given the boxing background, an interesting matchup, just in terms of background story would be Terrafin versus Night Shift. So that might be something we explore in a pole battle. Maybe my nephew and I will do that once they're fully upgraded or something. That said, we're going to back out. I'm going to yawn. And we're going to go to Skylander, take a look at his stats. Alright, bear in mind, I think at level 1 he was sitting at 310. Now he's at 341 because he's level 2. Speed 35, armor 18, critical hit 6, elemental power 32. Well, back out of there, let's take a look at his upgrades. He begins with punch. Press Y to punch the enemy. Press YY, hold Y to perform a combo. Secondary attack is Earth Swim. It's not much of an attack right now. Press A to burrow while underground. Press Y to perform a belly flop. So again, you've got to kind of execute that. Still, it's primarily evasive right now. Got 4 purchased upgrades. It begins with Brass Knuckles. Punch attacks do increase damage, plus it looks awesome. Secondary upgrade, second purchased upgrade is going to be Mega Belly Flop. Belly Flop does increase damage and affects a larger area. That is a hugely beneficial upgrade. Third purchased upgrade is Feeding Frenzy. Press X to spawn mini sharks that burrow and latch on to enemies. And the final purchased upgrade is Multi-Target Punches. Punch attack hits multiple enemies. Now, with Terrafin, you have got 2 choices. You can either come in and do his primary attack, which is honestly going to be the bottom path. It not only addresses the primary, but it also, I think, does something with the tertiary. And then we actually have the top path, which is Sandhog, which is one of the most unique paths in the game, still, in my opinion. Sandhog's what we're going to take a look at first. It begins with Master Earth Swimmer. Increase speed while burrowing. This is big. I mentioned I'm a fan of the armor ups, like bonus armor down path or soul gem, wherever it may be. I'm also an even bigger fan of upgrades that boost speed. Speed is very important to me, more so than armor in all honesty. Second purchased upgrade down Sandhog is Homing Frenzy. Mini sharks home in on enemies and do extra damage. That one to me has never been too big of a deal. Final upgrade down Sandhog is Razor Fin. This is a big deal. While burrowed, your dorsal fin does damage to enemies. Seems insignificant, but say you're sitting there with low health, you can actually burrow, avoid your enemies, do damage with your fin. The soul gem will help you out even more. You can pick up food if you were to kill anything. But, should you say kill an enemy, get some food, or level up, from XP, then you can pop up, do a belly flop. Now, bottom one right here is actually called the Brawler Path. It kind of addresses his primary one. It begins with Pugilist. Press YY, hold A for Body Slam. Press YY, hold X for Uppercut. Uppercut, very useful in my opinion. Second purchased upgrade, Spiked Knuckles. This is awesome. It's what a Series 2 pose was modeled after. All punch attacks do even more damage. Then we've got his final upgrade here down the Brawler Path. It is called Frenzy Shield. You launch mini sharks at enemies who damage you. So kind of one of those automated deals. I have no complaints. Soul Gem doesn't seem like a big deal, but it really is. It's called Surface Feeder. Collect power-ups while burrowed. Again, imagine this. You're in an intense battle. You're at critically low health. You realize you're about to die. Instead of swapping characters or something, you burrow. Now, while burrowed, if you've got Sandhog, you can damage enemies with your fin. You could potentially then kill an enemy, and then with Surface Feeder, the Soul Gem, you could actually pick up food they drop, or XP, or both, money, everything like that. And you could essentially either regain health from the food, or get your health back by leveling up. So, surface feeder, again, one of those things a lot of people gripe about it. To me, it is a huge asset. Now, Series 3 Terrafin, why do you get him? Number one, you wanted Bumble Blast. You're a big fan of PvP. You wanted the Battle Pack. Battle Packs, generally, people not huge fans of based on Giants. I personally like them. That said, Terrafin does have the single pack available. Will be in a triple pack here shortly. But for those of you that aren't huge Terrafin fans like myself and will buy extras of him regardless of the form, what you would be doing is picking him up because you like the pose. If you think, man, I really don't care for that one, or, man, the Skylanders Giants, the Series 2 pose was epic, this one's not quite as good, I think I'll stick to that one. Why should I get it if I like my Series 2 pose better? Answer, the Series 3 has a different Wow Pal. That Wow Pal is going to be Have You Met My Kids? While burrowed, which is your secondary attack, press X, your tertiary attack, to launch at enemies and hit them with a claw swipe move, as well as with mini shark allies. So this is where those razor, claws, fins come in. And I'm pretty excited to see what it does damage-wise. So, that said, we're going to back out of here. I'll take a look at its quests. First 6, pretty basic. Bad Guy Basher, defeat 1,000 enemies. Fruit Frontiersman, eat 15 pieces of fruit. Flawless Challenger, don't take damage, non-story mode. True Gladiator, win 10 PvP matches. As you can see, even box stock, I've managed to pull off 2 wins with him. Totally maxed out, big fan of this. Maybe you don't like Terrafin. Maybe you don't interest him. You're not a fan of the, punch or the belly flop or the burrowing. Totally maxed out encourages you, 1, to play as the character, 2, to upgrade the character, and 3, to play as the fully upgraded character. That to me is a good thing. That way you might get to the point where you, get the spiked knuckles, or you think, man, that path, now that I think about it, it's really cool with Sandhog. Basically, it might make you change your mind about the Skylander. Elementalist costs 7,500 elemental bonus damage. Now, the big 2 for the Earth element, really. Savior of the Land. Free the Terra Squid in twisty tunnels without switching Skylanders. So, obviously, I haven't been to twisty tunnels. Not quite sure what this is about, but we will investigate soon. Other big Earth element quest is called Unearther. Use shovels to dig a total of 25 holes. I'm assuming this is going to be like the fishing one for the water element. Washbuckler comes to mind. Probably going to have an area where we've got shovels. And you'll just have to remember, get your Earth element characters out, dig the holes. So hopefully you can just dig limitlessly and kind of knock it out that way. Now the big one, Terrafin's personal quest, will slide over here. Landlubber. Eat 20 food items while burrowing. I'm assuming that means eat 20 food items while burrowed. I don't know if that just was an oversight. If it's while burrowing, it might be kind of a pain to set it up. But if it's just while burrowed, it should be a cakewalk, particularly once you get the Soul Gem surface feeder and everything. So we're going to go ahead, back out of here, back out of there, back out of here, back to this. Let's go ahead and see what the belly flop is. 45, so I mean, you get the idea. He'll deal 36s, 54s. Oh, there was one of the combos. That was 85. Pretty impressive. Then of course when we burrow, just go over here, you can press your primary attack button. 45. You get the idea. He is very proficient as his box stock. That said, that is about it. It's 5:52 a.m. I think this is going to end my night. I am really tired. I'm also getting really cold, which is making me even more tired than I would be. My apologies there. Knockout Terrafin, obviously, I'm a big fan. I'm looking forward to that Wow Pal. Um, I'm not sure what path I'll take. I've got two of them. Obviously, I've got the one from the battle pack, and I bought them in single pack form as well. Just because I was kind of shocked to see the single pack that early, I thought it might become hard to find. Um, Probably gonna just use both of them. I'll keep the single pack one's gonna stay boxed, but I'll probably use it for one of the paths, whichever I don't take with this one. But I'm not at the point of really thinking coherently right now, so I'm not going to attempt to. I've also, before I go to bed, I was playing Animal Crossing. I was on the tropical island, and then I realized that my battery was about to die, so I had to stop what I was doing, put it on the charger. I'm gonna go in there and hopefully, now that it's this late, I should be able to get some more sharks and the good beetles and everything. So I'll do that, and then hopefully that will finance my stock market and the purchases in the morning, since it'll be Sunday. That said, nobody probably really cares about that, but now you know what my plans are. Long story short, we've gotten the starter packs introduced. We've gotten all the current swappers. At least as of right now, I realize Wave 3 should be here. We've got what we've got introduced. We've got the legendaries taken care of. We got the Tower of Time Adventure Pack. We now have the Fiery Forge Battle Pack. We've gotten Jolly Bumble Blast taken care of. What I am planning to do tomorrow, as time allows or something, is actually come in, since Terrafin's Earth Element. Obviously, we've done Slobbertooth and Dark Slobbertooth. I will come in and we're going to introduce Scorp. To me, it makes sense then to do Riptide. At that point in time, I'll get into like the rest of the Newlanders. You know, your Doombug that just came out, Roller Brawl. Then we'll do Light Core and Standard Starstrike and Smolder Dash. Then we'll segue into the Series 2s or Series 3 somehow. We'll just kind of roll with it as it happens. But just know that next up is Scorp, and I intend to get the current crop of Swap Force Newlanders taken care of that we haven't introduced yet. So that should be fun. I'm excited about that. I'm going to go run through here, get a little bit of gold, get everything saved. Then I'll go do the Animal Crossing while I'm in bed, trying not to freeze, and we will call it good. Again, I'm not yawning because I'm bored or not excited. I'm just legitimately tired. It's 5:55 a.m. So that said, as always, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. That'll keep you up with all the latest. Check out the blog, oneofweezem.com. Tons and tons of Skylanders information there, with more on the way. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you back here probably tomorrow night, part 33, where we will introduce Swap Force Newlander Scorp. So stay tuned for that, and I will catch you later.